After practicing law, Raymond Berg fought crime.
You have the right to an attorney.
As a hard-boiled detective on wheels.
Ain't it the truth?
His name is Ironside.
Perhaps you wouldn't mind saying it again.
His name is Ironside.
All right, now you've said it.
Now on MeTV Fresno, Xfinity 187.
Hi, I'm John Mallis, and welcome to this live edition at Connect with Me on MeTV Fresno. Today it's on the air, off the presses. We're flying home with Ronnie Paul on this Monday morning. Hope you can join us, 436 MeTV option 11. We're back with your phone calls. Hey, remember, if you call in, please turn down the sound on your TV set. Remember that. Back in a moment. And we're back here on the showroom floor at Ventura TV on this Monday morning. It is on the air, off the presses, of course, with Ronnie Paul on this day. But before we move into that, we need to talk about some news that happened over the weekend and the passing of another former guest here on Connect with Me. Over the weekend, it was Laura Guzman McGill who passed away. She was interviewed on this program on October the 25th. She was born in May of 1965 and passed on December the 27th, 2013. That would have been Friday. You may recall that Laura, of course, on her appearance here, she was with her husband, and then on October 25th, she talked about her 2-year battle with breast cancer on that program. Over the holidays, she developed some health complications. She was admitted to the hospital, and then she came home. She was surrounded by friends, by family, at the time of her passing. Our hearts and prayers certainly go out to her family, her husband Chuck, and of course all of their children. You can view the service, of course. Viewing and rosary will take place on Thursday, January the 2nd at 6 p.m. There is the location there. Our hearts and prayers go out to the Laura Guzman McGill family, of course. Earlier this year, you might recall Dr. Peter G. Mijas also passed away not long ago, and then much earlier this year, it was Bill Dietzel who passed away from cancer. So some sad news over the weekend. The loss of a prominent woman, a prominent attorney here in the city of Fresno, Laura Guzman McGill. And once again, our hearts and prayers go out to the family. Now to our show today. On the air, off the presses, it is Flying Home with Ronnie Paul. He has been on the air for so many years. If you haven't seen his show, we have a clip. So maybe, you'll get a taste of what Ronnie Paul is all about.
It's Flying Home with Ronnie Paul. 4 hours of music, classic television, audience telephone and email participation, and great in-studio guests. And now, here's your host, Ronnie Paul.
And here we are. Welcome to Flying Home with Ronnie Paul, right here on KSDI channel 33.2.
Well, you got a small taste of what his show is all about. Just a small taste. I guess we'll show you some other stuff later on. Live in our studio right now, he is Ronnie Paul, Flying Home with Ronnie Paul. This is not the Ronnie Paul Show. This is Connect with Me on MeTV Fresno, just so all of you do not get confused out there. 436 MeTV option 11. Remember, friends and family out there, do not turn up the sound, turn down the sound when you call in. We're back with our show with Ronnie Paul in just a moment.
1 Adam 12.
This is Adam 12. It stars Martin Milner as Officer Pete Malloy, Kent McCord as Officer Jim Reed.
1 Adam 12, roger.
This black and white patrol car has an overhead valve V8 engine. It develops 325 horsepower at 4,800 RPMs. It accelerates from 0 to 60 in 7 seconds. It has a top speed of 120 miles an hour. The automobile has 2 shotgun racks, one attached to the bottom portion of the front seat, one in the vehicle trunk.
You want me to drive?
Now on MeTV Fresno, Xfinity 187.
We're back here with our guest today. It is Ronnie Paul, Flying Home with Ronnie Paul. You also air your show on one of the Coca-Cola stations, right?
Yeah, we're on 43.5.
43.5.
And Comcast 200.
Okay. Wait a minute. Comcast 200 and 43.5. We're 43.6
yeah,
and 187.
So we're neighbors.
Yeah, we're kind of neighbors on there. So how long have you been doing the show, Ronnie?
This we're going to be approaching 10 years, just on this.
10 years?
10 years on TV, and radio's been 20 years plus.
What radio station?
Well, I interned at the KRGO, which was in Fowler.
Okay.
And KXTC, where Channel 53 is now.
Yeah.
There was a little hole-in-the-wall radio station where I was just learned everything. And Jim Flint was the old professor. This goes back way in 85, 86. So he taught me everything. And then I did a lot of intern for Larry Gamble, and I had my own show, Flying Home, on KAAT FM 103.1.
I see.
The Mountain Cat.
Tell our viewers, okay, they can watch your show when?
We are live Saturday nights from 7 p.m. to 1 a.m. on.
I thought it was 8 p.m. Did you change the time?
No, 7 p.m. now. We're on.
You changed it? When did you change the time?
This has been going on for almost not quite a year yet.
Oh,
yeah, see,
okay. How come I didn't know that? Why I thought you were on from 8 to 1.
I'm surprised you didn't get my press release and everything.
I didn't get that. I must have my secretary, my private secretary, apparently didn't give it to me.
And 7 p.m. to 1 a.m. on the internet, CocolaTV.com.
Yes.
And Comcast.
Oh, so you're streaming live?
Yeah, coast to coast, from across the street, from across the country to around the world.
Are we streaming live here yet? No. Yeah. So you're far advanced beyond what we are here.
Yeah, from coast to coast.
You're into the 21st century. We're not yet.
You're not yet. Well, you'll get there. You'll get there.
What is your show all about? Tell us.
Well, what we've been doing, it's all nostalgia. Classic TV.
I see.
Classic TV. We bring in former news people and active news people like yourself. Has been on many times. You brought your son and their families.
Yeah.
I keep it family orientated.
No, I know.
And then we do classic TV, classic music, not classical music, classic, with soundies from the big band era. Excuse me. And just bring back memories. Dean Martin, Frank Sinatra, Perry Como.
But
everything.
You play clips.
Certain things I play the shows.
You play the shows.
Clips from the big band era.
Yeah. Yeah, but you play shows like I Love Lucy, Jack Benny, what else?
And then Christmas time we did Dean Martin Christmas show, we did Perry Como's Christmas show, we did Judy
Garland.
Jackie
Gleason.
Jackie Gleason, oh yeah, there's a New Year's Eve one, it's fantastic with Tommy
Dean
and
Martin,
Jimmy.
all those.
Oh yeah, yeah. And I can do for really, you can go on for
How about
another
Skelton,
month.
Red Skelton?
Oh, I did him too, he did Freddie the Freeloader. And he did one with Cara Williams, if you remember Pete and Gladys,
right.
The Yuletime doll, which is,
right.
he dreams this doll came to life. It was Cara Williams and everything, and then it just was a dream, and she turns back.
So who came up with the idea of this show here? Whose idea was this?
This, of the TV or the radio?
Both.
Well, our big band, Larry Gamble had Big Band Weekend. So I was I've known him for a long time.
Okay.
And I used just to hang around and everything, and I used to visit everybody who worked at other radio stations. And Jessie Taylor has been a sweetheart. She says, you need to give Ronnie his own deal. He's been a big help for me. So that started out with Larry Gamble, Flying Home with Ronnie Paul, same thing, but with music and old-time radio. And nostalgia.
Oh, I see.
Clips like She's Too Fat for Me and all that too. Mix that all in together. And then when Larry Gamble sold the station, I went to Gary Cocola. I says, I don't want to give this up. This is pretty good. Can you help me? So we tried radio stations. Then he had an idea to put radio on TV. So this is how almost 10 years ago this came about.
So did you approach Gary Cocola?
I went to Gary. I gave him a package, what I've done, who I've met. It's been, I've had the Desi Lou people write letters.
What did he say?
Well, he was impressed and everything too.
Yeah. He liked the idea.
He liked the idea. He says that's pretty good. But I'm not the type of person to brag or show. But this is what I've done.
Yeah.
I'm a low-key type of a person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it kind of shows on the air too, a little bit. But
comfortable.
But so that's how the idea was kind of born into TV.
Yeah, Larry, Gary Cocola, he wanted me to play music on TV, CDs and talk about this. And I says, I don't like acting like, I don't know.
Radio. It was more
more radio.
stuff.
I says
More
I'd
radio.
rather show like instead of old time radio, do classic TV and do videos of big band, which is hard to find, but I have a source and I have some too. So it's worked out very well. I did Guy Lombardo for New Year's Eve too. I'm gonna do it again.
Oh, you are? When?
Yeah. This coming Saturday, I have another Guy Lombardo New Year's Eve show.
Oh, you should have done it last Saturday.
I did some. I did a clip
You
for
did
the one that I saw. His last one was done in 1975-76 from the Waldorf Astoria. 48 years he's done that.
So the number one priority is to be nostalgic on this show.
Right, because look here, look at your MeTV.
Right.
See, that's the deal.
Right.
See,
right.
people enjoy
Nostalgia.
going back in
Right.
the time. When they see something just says, gee, I went out on this date, or I had a fight with this girlfriend, I had a fight with my husband, or
whatever
or
it is.
that was my wedding anniversary that time, and everything.
Yeah.
That's when I got married. It brings back a lot of memories, high school time, or whatever. So that's what I like to bring.
So who are your viewers?
I
would you
have
say?
from cartoons. I got from
You have loyal viewers?
4 years old to 80 years old plus. It's all ages. Because
Yeah.
I do cartoons, I do the time early, for the cartoons for the kids.
Who are you trying to appeal to,
Everyone.
I guess is my question.
Everybody.
Okay.
Even you. See?
Okay. No, but when you say 4-year-olds, now they weren't around. of
They
course,
were around,
yeah,
but their family says, this is what I used to watch when I was a kid. I want you to see this.
Yeah.
See, these 12, 14 years old, these kids have never seen Bullwinkle or Yogi Bear or the Flintstones.
Roadrunner.
All the Hanna-Barbera and Warner Brothers. Bugs Bunny is still popular. They like that.
Yeah.
And Mel Blanc, you can tell by watching. I know it's Mel Blanc, but listen to the voices and everything too.
Yeah. Hey, we have a video clip of you. Let's play the video clip of Ronnie Paul from Flying Home with Ronnie Paul, and then after the clip, we'll just go to break. Where am I?
Let's get phone calls too. Let's see. If
Yeah,
we
we'll
get any
take phone calls. Where are we? Here or here?
Here.
Here.
All
We're
right, here.
What camera? Here?
Is this
Okay.
here? Here, okay.
Roll the tape, and then we'll go to break.
5-0, the first season with Jack Lord and everyone else, Zulu, Chinho, Danny, and everything else. And you can see it in our MeTV Monday through Friday. Check your local listings for the time. Right now we're going to have a little laugh with Bugs Bunny and group. And this one is called 14 Karat Rabbit. So here we go.
When you like Ventura TV Appliance on Facebook, it's nice. But when you love the Samsung big screen we deliver, it's even better. Our website is cool, and it's a good place to start. But you really should touch the merchandise before you buy. Time for that upgrade to an HD 3D web-enabled Samsung TV. Get the best selection, price, and service in town without waiting. Come in to Ventura TV Appliance and touch the merchandise today.
Flying Home with Flying Home with Ronnie Paul. That's the name of the show. It's seen on Saturday nights at 7 o'clock until midnight on Comcast.
1 a.m.
Oh, 1 a.m., sorry. Okay, I'll get that straight.
Yeah, you better
Get Comcast 200 and 43.5. See, at least I got the stations right.
Yeah, and on the internet, on
On the internet,
CocolaTV.com.
CocolaTV.com. It's streaming live with Ronnie Paul.
We are live. We're not Memorex either.
No, I know. I realize that. Do you ever take any time off?
No.
Rarely, huh?
Unless it's so much fun to do, unless there's a Lucy convention or some convention to go to in LA where I get contacts.
I mean, what if you want to go to Maui for the weekend or something? You don't do that? You don't do any of that stuff? Or?
Well, if I get a good airfare deal, then I'll go.
Then you'll go. And then who does the show?
Chris Terrence comes in sometimes. If you want, you can come in.
Oh, to host?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Is that in your contract you're allowed to do?
I don't know how. I got my contract right now. Let me see the fine print here. No, it's not in there.
No, well,
we'll talk to Mark about it.
Yeah, we'll talk. I think Mark will let you do it.
So, Ronnie, you really enjoyed doing the show. And I understand. Oh, we got a call. Okay. I want to ask you a question first, but let me take this call first. Good morning. You're on the air. Go ahead.
Yeah, good morning, John. Hey, Ronnie, I enjoy the programs that when you have, I use an example, Jimmy Weldon on and some other people from the past that are still alive. And that's great. That was a great program.
You're right, it's good. But we don't have Jimmy. We have Jimmy Weldon when he comes to Fresno, but that's the only way we can have him. There's no clips from 47 or early 30 that kept that.
When they come in person, right. I like your program. It runs a little late for me because I attend worship service early in the mornings, but it's great at what you're doing. You can run some good clean programs, and I appreciate that. Hopefully you have more people like the Musketeer lady.
Karen.
Is she still around?
Yeah, she's still around. She lives not too far from the station, but we'll try to get her.
Yeah, great. Okay, Ronnie, I think that's it for now, and keep up the good work.
Well, thank you for calling.
Okay, you're welcome.
Bye-bye.
I was going to ask you before the phone call, why are these programs so important?
Well, if you notice, number one, they're entertainment. Number one. There's no, you could say foul language or everything. It's just like the Jack Benny Christmas. It was funny 50 years ago. It's just as funny as today. They don't lose the timing and everything. It's still funny. Yeah. It's just, and Jackie Gleason says about the honey, it's just plain funny.
Good morning. You're on the air. Go ahead, caller.
Good morning. I was just calling to let Ronnie Paul, actually to thank him for being airing these shows because that way my kids have the opportunity to watch the cartoons, especially, or the programs that I used to watch when I was little. And they really love it. My kids really enjoy watching the shows, and they get to experience the actually cartoons that were made with quality. Because nowadays the cartoons are not very appropriate. But those are classics, and I love that.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's good. You must watch MeTV too, then, if you like all the old classic shows, right?
Oh yes, all the time.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate the phone call.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. So I guess it is good old-fashioned fun.
It is.
Without the foul language, and anybody can watch it.
No, it's no different 50 years ago when it first came out till now. It's still just as funny.
Right.
Even I still laugh.
To some people, it's funny. I mean, there are a lot of people that, the shows don't appeal to them. They like reality TV now, some of these people, some of the younger generation. They want the reality TV.
That's
true.
They
like American Idol and The Voice, and I don't even know what else is out there. The X Factor and all that.
But 8 out of 10 people like this MeTV antenna TV. This is, at Coca-Cola Broadcasting, those are the most popular stations.
Right.
There.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So we have a clip of Sergeant Bilko. Okay, explain who Sergeant Bilko is.
Sergeant Bilko was with Phil Silvers. This was done in the 50s. This was done in New York. And Ray Block was the music guy, worked with Ed Sullivan. So Phil Silvers and Ed Sullivan were very close, so they were next door to each other. But it was a very first military army comedy. And after that, they did a cartoon spin-off of that. Let's see if the viewers can figure out what Hanna-Barbera cartoon was a spin-off of the idea as Sergeant Bilko. After we show the clip, maybe someone will call in.
All right, let's
But
show
it's
the
a good
clip.
It was very, the writing is very good. And later, they did Car 54, Nate Haken, the same people who did Car 54.
Okay, let's take a look. Sergeant Bilko.
If I may call you Mark, I want you to know when my son, my firstborn, took his first step, I walked into your store and bought a video camera to record that very same day.
Wow.
And he still has it.
No.
Cool.
Believe me, I thank you very, very much for the years that I've been able to get great prices from you.
Well, great. Thank you, Paul.
And I wish Ventura the very best. And Ronnie, thank you again.
You're welcome.
Thank you for calling. Thank you.
Yeah, he'll call. You'll hear from him.
Oh, I'm
good.
sure. I'm sure.
So, all right, we're gonna go Sergeant Bilko. That's
Okay,
on the Sunday. This is when he goes to Hollywood. He was in a he was in a war platoon, and they want to do a movie on this, but he drives everybody nuts. So this is called Hollywood.
Okay, so we saw in the beginning there, we saw Mark Sheeran, of course, the owner of this store and also sponsor of this TV station
We
and
went
show.
to school together.
Yeah, you and Mark?
School. Yeah, Lone Star and
Really?
Sanger High.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Wow.
We're old. Yeah.
So that was me with Mark in the beginning when we first launched this show, and then we went on your show to promote our show. Does that make any sense?
It does.
All right, caller, you're on the air. Go ahead. You're on with Ronnie Paul.
Hi, Mr. Mallows and Mr. Paul. Thank you so much, first of all, for what you guys have done for broadcasting over the years. Thank you so much. Ronnie, I love your show every Saturday night, and it is so enjoyable.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.
You're very well. How many times do you watch every week?
Yes, I do.
Good.
Yes, sir. And I've called in several times and requested.
Do you sit through the entire program?
You know, it's hard for me getting older. I just turned 55 to stay up that late, but I try.
Oh, gee, you just turned 55.
1 o'clock in the morning.
You just turned 55. You're a young man.
You're a little kid,
doesn't it?
Yeah, you're a small kid. What are you talking about?
You're a little kid, but thank you very much for watching, and you call anytime.
Yeah.
No, staying up that late at night. I'm a seabird. My brother used to work for Fox 26, and John may know him, but
who's that?
I just wanted to call and say thank you for all you guys do.
Who is that?
Thanks so much.
What's his name that used to work at Fox 26?
Rick Seberg. Now he's down in Southern California.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Sure. Well, I appreciate the call.
But thank you. I appreciate your program so much.
All right. Thank you for calling in. Thank you for watching. That's not going to do it yet. We got more time. We're going to take a break, though. 436 MeTV. Option 11. Remember, turn down the sound on your TV set when you call in. We're back in a moment.
All right. From the beginning. My name's Friday. I carry a badge.
Now on Xfinity 187.
Back here and connect with me on MeTV Fresno, Flying Home with Ronnie Paul. Who came up with that name?
Jessie Taylor from Cat, because I used to request that song to her, and then she went to Larry Gamble and says we need the name the show Flying Home with Ronnie Paul. So she's the one. She was what we call her the first lady of KAAT radio.
Right. Now you have your regular followers like this gentleman that just called in a few minutes ago. He says he watches, he calls in. Is that the case? I know I kind of asked you that question before, but do you have the same callers?
No, it's all new.
It's all new.
Every week it's new. She says, I just turned this in.
So you have different callers
every
call
week
in.
There's new people.
So you're
I just
adding
discovered
viewers to your...
yes,
Okay,
every week.
okay.
Well, this is neat. I had some lady called, oh, this is wonderful. Whether they're 80 or 16, 17 years old. They're all ages to call.
Right.
I just discovered you. That's what they say.
Now, your background is what? You worked in, now I know you don't like to brag, like you said, but let's just do a little bragging here in the last 5 minutes of the show. You worked where? CBS television in Los Angeles?
Well, I grew up in the farming industry. We had our own ranch farming,
I understand.
like that. But I've always loved this stuff, so I interned at the CBS for 1 year.
In L.A.
TV City, where Price is Right and everything.
Right.
Go visit the sets and everything.
Hey, we got a call.
Go
Do you
ahead.
want to take it?
Sure.
Okay. Good morning. You're on Connect with Me. Your question.
Yes, I just want to know if when is Ron going to keep doing high school football games, broadcasting them, and also does he have a website that where you can? While I connect with me, if I miss your show, John, I can always go back online and check out an episode. Does Ron have something like that?
Well, that's in the works. We're working on that.
Oh, see, so we're a step ahead of you.
Yeah,
in that
you're a
department.
step ahead of me on that. And the high school game, Chris Terrence is in charge of that, and he does very well. But it's hard to get sponsors, as you know, to do that. But we did one game this year. We did good, but hopefully next year we're capable of doing more. But I enjoy doing that also on Friday nights.
Friday nights. Yeah.
But thank you for watching. Thank you very much for your call.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for watching. Thank you for calling in. So, I'm going to send my spies over there to see what you're doing and what you're not doing, so we can stay a step ahead of you.
That's all right. You're a step ahead. But you know what? On Sergeant Bilko, the cartoon was Top Cat.
Top Cat.
Top Cat is it's the same. It's the same thing, but with cats. The same idea.
Right.
Just like the Flintstones was the Honeymooners. Same thing. See, they did the same thing. See, the Flintstones is a copy of the Honeymooners.
I see.
Which Jackie Gleason got angry, but he went to his lawyer, and the lawyer told him, "Don't make an issue because you can't ruin Fred Flintstone." So he let it go.
He did. Yeah. What? So why was he angry?
Well, they're copying his idea. See, but when animated, and he wanted to sue, and then his attorney says, "This will make you look bad."
Huh?
This will
when I look at the Flintstones,
don't take away Fred Flintstone from the kids.
When I look at the Flintstones, I don't think of Jackie Gleason. I'm sorry.
Well, it's the same thing. Barney Rubble is Norton. Fred Flintstone's Jackie Gleason.
I never would have thought that.
No,
I
that's
never
what
would
it
have
was.
thought that. I learned something new today.
And it was named the Flagstones, and they didn't like it, so they went to the Flintstones.
The Flintstones.
And Pebbles was a contest from Ideal Toy. Name the baby, and then Ideal Toy Company.
So you interned in L.A. at where Universal?
TVC.
Okay, all right,
CBS,
all right,
City.
CBS. All right.
That was
and then,
fun.
And then,
fun.
What did you do? What did you do after that?
I was in charge of all the network affiliates, CBS Sports.
Yeah, but after that, you left eventually.
Then after that, I came back here with Larry Gamble.
Okay.
To get the radio started, and that worked for a long time. And then when he sold the station, and then we went to Gary Coca-Cola.
Right. Okay, so that's how.
But I've always been on a Saturday. Even I interned for KNX Radio, where they had the old-time radio at that time. This guy came into CBS and said, "I'm looking for a guy to intern for a while." I had at that time you had to have your little license, FCC, so I did that for a while.
You got that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's see. Do you consider yourself almost like a broadcasting legend now? You've been on the air for 10 years.
I don't know legend yet, but it's nice to be. For doing it this long,
How much
wonderful.
longer will you be able to do it?
Gary Coca-Cola says I got a good 20 years ahead of me, so I hope
you
so.
You do? Really?
Yeah,
well, you just turned 39, right?
I wish
you
I
and Jack
did.
Benny.
Yeah, Jack Benny. No, it's with doggone it. It's been 39 years he passed away. No, 58 years old.
You're 58?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
well, you're a spring chicken.
Yeah,
yet.
I can still go.
You can go for a while.
He says I got a good 20 years, so maybe. I hope so.
Yeah, let's hope so. And so, what other programs would you like to show on your program that you haven't given the viewers an opportunity to see yet?
Well, there's a lot that hasn't been released yet. So what I do,
such as?
Well, there's certain Red Skeletons. Jack Benny, the lost episodes are coming out too.
You're going to show some of those.
Yeah, there's some. I have some now. And Laura Leff says that she's the president.
Who found the Jack Benny episodes?
Well, they've had them in the vault.
Well, then they haven't been lost.
The state has them, and then the state
they've been locked up.
They've been locked up too, and there's some Jackie Gleason stuff too. And then there's like Pete and Gladys I like to see from Desilu. There's a lot of Desilu stuff that's in the.
How about Ozzie and Harriet?
No, they're out.
Oh, they're out. Have you shown
some
of those? You've shown those too?
Yeah. So, and there's some that I'd like to see. There's some called Queen and I with Larry Storch and deal, but they're only worth 13 weeks, so those are hard to get out.
Well, we're a nostalgic station here too, but in a different way. I mean, we show all these television shows, and we've got I Love Lucy and Batman. And
do you know where this idea came from with the chocolate?
No, I don't.
Lucy got the Desilu people got this from Charlie Chaplin's movie Modern Times. If you know how he goes in the factory and the thing speeds up and everything, that's where they got that idea.
You're talking about the
chocolate candy.
The chocolate
factory.
candy.
Speed it up.
Scene,
See? Is that picture?
They got that from Charlie Chaplin.
Yeah, this came from the Charlie Chaplin movie.
Yeah, viewers can't see that; it's off camera. But we got 10 seconds, and then we're going to get cut off.
All right.
You don't want that, do you?
No, we could. Like I say, I go for 6 hours.
I know.
But thank you. Happy New Year to you.
Ronnie,
thank you. Anytime.
Thank you. Happy New Year to you, and I'll come back on your show soon.
Anytime too. You're welcome.
Okay, Ronnie Paul, Flying Home with Ronnie Paul every Saturday night, 7 to 1 a.m. and you can watch it on Comcast 200 and 43.5. That's going to do it for us today. Tomorrow, another show here on Connect with Me. We're going to talk to two members from MAD, Mothers Against Drunk Drivers. See you tomorrow.